The Galactic Academy was silent. Not the calm silence of peace, but the sharp silence of judgment. Hundreds of beings from different stars sat inside the great hall. Tall insect lords, crystal-skinned thinkers, war-bred reptile generals, and energy beings glowing with pride. This academy was not a school. It was a filter. Only the strongest minds and deadliest warriors of the galaxy were allowed inside. On this day, one seat looked very wrong. A human girl sat there, small, still, quiet. Her name tag glowed in weak white light. Origin, Earth. A low sound moved across the hall. Not fear, not respect, but laughter. Humans, one alien whispered. They barely survived their own planet. Another voice followed. Emotional, fragile, slow. Why are they even here? The girl did not react. She kept her hands folded, her eyes calm, her face empty of fear. Above the hall, a massive screen activated. Lines of data appeared. Human prototype program, status, failed. The laughter grew louder. Long ago, Earth tried something desperate. They tried to fix themselves. They tried to build a better human. The galaxy watched and laughed back then too. Because Earth was always late, always weak, always trying to catch up. The project did not go as planned. The child was born wrong. She was not stronger, not faster, not louder. Her body numbers were low. Her energy output was weak. Her survival rating was below Academy average. The screen confirmed it all. Combat rating, inadequate. Physical strength, low. Emotional response, abnormal. The council members exchanged looks of amusement. This is Earth's best. This is their future. One instructor leaned forward. This must be a mistake. That word echoed in the hall. Mistake. The girl heard it. She had heard it all her life. In Earth's underground labs. In cold white rooms. Scientists once looked at her the same way. Not with hate, but with disappointment. She remembered the whispers. Scrap the project. She is not what we wanted. Earth called her a failure. The galaxy called her a joke. The screen changed again, showing one final line. Academy enrollment, approved. The laughter died instantly. Approved? Several council members stood up at once. That cannot be right. She does not meet the minimum level. The Academy AI spoke in a calm neutral tone. Enrollment confirmed, decision final. Fear touched the room for the first time. Not fear of her, but fear of the unknown. Why would the Academy accept a failure? The girl finally moved. She stood slowly, her movements careful, controlled. She did not look at the aliens. She looked at the floor. None of them noticed her eyes. Not cold, not broken, but watching, learning. Far above the Academy, hidden in deep space, human observers watched the same feed. They said nothing, because Earth knew something the galaxy did not. They did not send her to succeed. They sent her because keeping her was too dangerous. Back in the hall, an alien whispered a final joke. Let her enter. She will not survive the first test. The girl stepped forward, crossing the line into the Academy. And with that single step, a mistake walked into history. None of them knew the truth yet. This human was not weak. She was unfinished. And her enrollment had just started a countdown. To fear, to regret, and to the possible end of the galaxy. Before the Academy Hall, before the laughter, before the judgment of the stars, there was Earth, deep beneath its surface, hidden under steel and silence. There was a laboratory no one spoke about. It was called the Human Prototype Program. Earth was afraid back then. Alien empires were growing. Galactic wars were coming closer. Humans knew they were behind. Their bodies were weak. Their weapons were slow. So they chose a different path. They tried to change themselves. Scientists worked for years. Cold rooms, long nights, endless tests. They wanted strength. They wanted speed. They wanted a perfect human. Then she was born. At first, the screens showed hope. Her brain activity was unusual. Not higher, just different. But when she grew, the problems appeared. She did not cry like other children. She did not react to pain the same way. Her heart rate stayed calm in fear tests. The scientists waited for power to show. But it never came. Her muscles were weak. Her reflexes were average. Her energy output was low. One by one, the labels appeared. Failure. Defect. Waste of resources. Some wanted to end the project. Others wanted to erase all records. She is not dangerous, one scientist said. She is nothing. But one old observer stayed quiet. He watched her closely. He noticed something strange. When other subjects were trained, they repeated lessons slowly. She did not repeat. She adapted. When a test changed, she changed faster. When she failed, she watched. She learned. Pain did not break her. Fear did not stop her. Instead, her mind adjusted. The old observer warned them. She is not weak. She is restrained. But the council did not listen. Earth had limited time and limited money. They needed results, not patience. The project was declared a failure. The lab shut down. The files were locked. She was not destroyed, because no one believed she mattered enough. Years passed. She grew older, quieter, sharper. She learned by watching others. She spoke little, but remembered everything. Then the Galactic Academy invitation arrived. Not for her, but for Earth. Earth hesitated. Sending normal humans meant humiliation. Sending her meant risk. But Earth already knew something. They ran final simulations. Every future showed the same result. If she stayed on Earth, she would evolve alone, unseen, uncontrolled. So Earth made a choice. They sent her away, not as pride, but as distance. Not to prove strength, but to delay consequences. In the Academy Hall, aliens saw only weak numbers. They did not see the hidden truth. Her mind was not built to dominate. It was built to survive anything. She did not grow stronger by training. She grew stronger by threat. Every insult, every test, every danger, was shaping her. Back on Earth, the old observer watched the Academy feed. He whispered softly, "I warned them." The galaxy believed Earth failed. Earth knew something worse. They did not fail. They stopped halfway. And now, the unfinished mind they abandoned was surrounded by enemies. Enemies who believed she was harmless. That belief would not last long, because the Academy trials were about to begin. And pressure was the one thing her mind responded to best. The first Academy trial began without mercy. No welcome. No explanation. No sympathy. The Galactic Academy believed in one rule. If you could not survive pressure, you did not belong. The trial hall opened. A wide arena made of shifting metal. Lights floated above, watching every movement. Names appeared on the screen. Species after species stepped forward. They showed power, speed, confidence. Then her name appeared. Human prototype, Earth. A low sound of laughter returned. She will last seconds. Why waste time? She walked into the arena slowly. Her steps light. Her face calm. The first test activated. Physical endurance trial. Gravity increased suddenly. Many species struggled. Some fell to one knee. She bent forward. Her breathing changed. Her body shook. The observers smiled. "Look," one instructor said. "She cannot handle basic pressure." Her knees touched the floor. The laughter grew louder. Then something strange happened. She did not panic. She did not fight the gravity. She adjusted her stance, shifted her balance, changed how she breathed. Her body was still weak, but her movement became efficient. The system showed new data. Adaptation detected. No one noticed the small change, except the Academy AI. The gravity test ended. She stood up slowly. Barely passed, but passed. The next test began immediately. Combat simulation. A holographic enemy appeared. Fast. Aggressive. She did not attack. She stepped back, watching. Tracking patterns. The enemy struck. She failed to block. She was thrown aside. The crowd laughed again. She is afraid. She does not even fight. But she was not afraid. She was learning. The simulation reset. The enemy attacked again. This time, she moved earlier. Not faster. Just earlier. The third attack never touched her. The system paused. Prediction accuracy increasing. Instructors leaned forward. The enemy changed tactics. Speed increased. Attack angles shifted. She was hit again. Harder this time. She stayed on the ground for a moment. Her eyes open. Focused. The simulation resumed. Now her movements changed. Shorter steps. Less wasted motion. She dodged attacks she should not understand yet. The laughter faded. A reptile instructor frowned. She is not stronger. She is adapting. The final stage activated without warning. Multi-opponent combat. 3 enemies appeared, surrounding her. This test was not meant for beginners. She backed toward a wall. Limiting angles. 1 enemy attacked. She let it miss by a breath. Another attacked. She used the first enemy's movement as cover. It was not skill. It was calculation. The AI voice echoed. Learning speed. Abnormal. Silence filled the hall. She did not win the fight. But she survived it. The simulation ended. Her score appeared. Low damage. Low strength. High survival. The instructors exchanged uneasy looks. This should not be possible, one said. She is copying outcomes, another replied. The Academy AI recorded a final note. Threat potential. Unknown. She left the arena quietly. Her body tired. Her mind active. For the first time. Aliens did not laugh as she passed. They watched her. Because they realized something unsettling. This human did not need power to win. She needed time. And the Academy had just given her plenty of it. Far above. Hidden observers from Earth watched the data rise. The old observer whispered again. She has started. The Academy believed the trial was over. They were wrong. This was only the moment. The galaxy's mistake. Began to learn how to survive them all. The Academy did not announce the next trial. There was no warning. No preparation time. Her name appeared alone on the screen. Special evaluation. Activated. A wave of confusion moved through the hall. That test is restricted, one council member said. It is not for students. The Academy AI responded calmly. Evaluation required, risk accepted. Fear replaced curiosity. The floor beneath her opened. And she was lowered into darkness. This was not an arena. It was a survival zone. A place designed to destroy champions. The environment formed around her. Broken terrain. Low visibility. Unstable gravity fields. The air itself was hostile. Monitors showed her vitals. Heart rate steady. Breathing controlled. She will die, someone whispered. The test began. Creatures appeared. Not holograms. Real constructs copied from extinct predators. Fast. Violent. Merciless. She did not run. She crouched. Touched the ground. Observed vibrations. The first creature charged. She moved late. But not wrong. It missed her by inches, crashing into terrain. She did not attack. She watched how it moved. The second creature joined, flanking her. She backed into narrow space, forcing them into her view. One attacked. She dodged. The other followed. She used its momentum against the first. Not strength. Not speed. Position. The system paused for half a second. Environmental adaptation detected. In the control chamber. Instructors stopped speaking. She is rewriting survival logic, one said quietly. The environment changed suddenly. Heat increased. Light dropped. Gravity shifted again. This was meant to overload the mind. She stumbled. Fell to one knee. The observers relaxed. Then she stood again. Her movements slowed, but became precise. Every step had purpose. Her eyes tracked everything. Not fear. Not anger. Calculation. More threats appeared. Stronger ones. She began using terrain, forcing enemies to collide, fall, trap themselves. The AI updated again. Tactical intelligence, escalating. A council member stood. This is enough. She is learning too fast. The AI replied. Data collection incomplete. Inside the zone. Her breathing changed. Not from panic. From focus. She was no longer reacting. She was predicting. An unseen variable appeared. A kill construct. Designed to end trials instantly. Its first strike shattered the ground. She was thrown back. Injured. Bleeding. For a moment. Even Earth's observers held their breath. She lay still. Then she smiled. Just slightly. Because now she understood. She used her own fall. Rolled with the impact. Adjusted her center. When the construct attacked again. She was already moving. Not away. Around. She led it into unstable gravity. Timed the shift. The construct tore itself apart. Silence. The AI voice echoed. Threat classification. Revised. The environment shut down. Lights returned. She stood alone in the broken zone. Breathing steady. Eyes alert. In the control chamber. Fear was no longer hidden. She is evolving inside the test. If we let this continue. The final decision was made quickly. A red symbol appeared on the screen. Termination protocol. Authorized. Far from the Academy. On Earth. The old observer closed his eyes. They chose fear, he said softly. Back in the zone. She looked up as systems armed. She did not look surprised. She had expected this. Because pressure was never the danger. Stopping adaptation was. And the galaxy had just decided. To become her next lesson. Red warning lights filled the control chamber. Alarms echoed through the Academy. Termination protocol, active. The galaxy had made its choice. They did not want to understand her. They wanted to stop her. Inside the broken survival zone. Weapons rose from hidden panels. Energy fields locked into place. This was not a test anymore. It was an execution. She stood still. Not frozen. Not afraid. She had already learned everything this place could teach her. The first strike came without delay. A focused energy blast meant to erase her instantly. She moved. Not fast. Not strong. Just correct. The blast missed by a breath. Destroying the ground behind her. She rolled. Used the shockwave. Adjusted her position. The Academy AI paused. For the first time ever. Response pattern. Non-random. More attacks followed. From every direction. She did not fight the weapons. She studied them. Fire rate. Recharge delay. Targeting logic. She moved between attacks. Not escaping. Flowing. In the control chamber. Instructors shouted orders. She should be overwhelmed. This system has killed war champions. But she was not a champion. She was something else. She reached a control pillar, placed her hand on it, closed her eyes. She listened. To vibrations. To energy shifts. Then she acted. She triggered two systems at once. Forced a timing conflict. The weapons turned on each other. Energy fields collapsed. The zone shook violently. Silence followed. Smoke cleared. She stood alone again. Injured. Exhausted. But alive. The AI spoke slowly now, as if choosing its words. Termination failed. Subject status, active. Fear spread through the council. She survived. She learned our systems. One voice whispered what none wanted to say. She improved. The emergency doors opened. Elite enforcers entered the zone. Armored. Armed. Prepared to kill. They surrounded her. She raised her hands. Not in surrender, but to speak. This was the first time she spoke aloud. Her voice was calm. Clear. We do not win by being perfect, she said. We win by adapting. The enforcers hesitated. She continued. You feared my weakness. But weakness is where humans learn fastest. The Academy AI recorded everything. Verbal assertion detected. She lowered her hands. I am not your enemy. I am your warning. The council watched in silence. Back on Earth. Human observers leaned forward. The old observer finally smiled. She understands, he said. In the Academy. A council member asked quietly. What are you? She looked up at the stars above the hall. I am a prototype, she answered. An unfinished one. That was when the fear truly began. Because the galaxy understood. If this was unfinished, if this was restrained, then what would happen? When Earth stopped holding back, the Academy updated her status. Threat level, Galactic. She was released. Not as a student. Not as a weapon. But as a variable no one could control. As she walked out of the hall, no one laughed. They stepped aside. Because the galaxy had learned a hard truth. Humans do not need to be born perfect. They only need time, pressure, and enemies who underestimate them. And somewhere far away, Earth was already watching the stars. Because she was only the beginning.